Hi, second graders. Well, I told you yesterday that I would show you a completed insect report today. And so here I am, all dressed up, to show you my report. Before we do that, however, let's go over again what we need to have to be ready to do our report. So hopefully you are getting together your paper, pencil, markers, crayons, or colored pencils, a folder or notebook, or maybe an envelope like I have, and then also a couple sources. Don't worry too much about this because remember I have the insect flashcards, and I also bought a book yesterday, and it has quite a few different insects in it. I'll show you what it's like. So if you were to choose the bee, you would only get one page, but still that will give you some information. There's on the flea, there's quite a few in here. So that will help you with sources. You might have something at home, and remember Mrs. B is going to show you Pebble Go, which is a really good source for you to have. So don't worry too much about sources. We can help you with that. But you have to take care of these two things on your own. All right? And I know you can do it. Then, as you recall, we are going to research the habitat, the diet, and the description of our insect. And hopefully you have done your assignment. On Monday you wrote the habitat definition. On Tuesday the diet definition. And on Wednesday you should have written the definition for description here. So you should have all of those done already. And then the final paper, which I think I've shown you, is what is included in your final project. I have my final project right here. But first, let's just quickly run through. Read them with me. You should have a title page, a habitat paragraph, a diet paragraph, description paragraph, the picture and caption of habitat, and a diagram of the body parts labeled, and then of course your glossary. So now I will show you my finished project, because at the end, when we're all done, the last week of school, May 27th or 8th, one of those days, we will want you to be totally done with your insect report. I keep saying animal report. Sorry about that. Your insect report. And then you are going to send us a video of you. You can be dressed up like your insect. Ooh, that was bumpy. Sorry. Let me show you my total costume here. I am the morning cloak butterfly. And so I made some wings, and I have my headband. And I must tell you right now, just so you know, the morning cloak butterfly does not really have wings on its head, but I really am quite sure that one of my grandgirls is going to want to wear this, and they might want the wings, so I didn't want to cut them off. But my morning cloak butterfly, as you can see in my drawing, only has antenna. Okay? All right, so when we are all done with our reports at the end, you're going to send us a video of you reading your report to us, dressed up like your insect, or you might make your insect out of Play-Doh or clay or something like that. You might find one of your insects outside and put it in a jar and show it to us as you read your report. Or maybe you have a stuffed animal of your insect that you can show us. But then you will read your report. So I will read mine and show you the pages that you are going to do as well. And as I'm looking at this, I'm realizing what I forgot to do. Does anybody notice? I forgot to color part of his wing. I can't believe I did that. I'll finish it afterwards. But you're going to have a title page. So you're going to put the name of your insect, a drawing, or you can get a picture online and cut it out neatly and glue it on your paper. And then, of course, your name. The first thing that you will have in your report after the title page are the paragraphs. I want you to look closely and tell me what I put at the beginning of each paragraph. Do you see it there in big letters? What is that text feature called? Mrs. B taught you about this. It's called a heading. I hope you said that. So I started with my title, The Mourning Cloak Butterfly, and then I wrote my habitat paragraph, which I already read in another video for you. You will read yours in your final video. There's my habitat paragraph. There's my diet paragraph. There's my description paragraph. And do you remember when I told you that I ran out of room for my description paragraph? So did I turn the paper over and write on the back? No, I did not. I got a new paper and finished it on the new piece of paper. All right? So when all your paragraphs are done, then the next page will be, as our list said, right here, a picture and caption of habitat. Now, my mourning cloak butterfly likes to live in lots of different trees, but one of them is this tree. Does anybody know what tree that is? Oh, remember, I'm not the best of jars. It is a willow tree. And do you see my caption? Can you read it? Mourning cloak butterflies often live in willow trees. So there's my habitat picture. The next thing you need to have in your report is a diagram of your insect, and it needs to be labeled. The body parts need to be labeled. So of course I wrote again at the top, the mourning cloak butterfly. I drew my butterfly the best I could. Actually, that's pretty good for me, don't you think? And then I labeled the antenna. I labeled the wings very neatly as I could. And then, because the middle part is kind of hard to label in there, I just drew one line, and can you see what I wrote? 3 body parts: head, thorax, abdomen. The head, the thorax, the abdomen. All right. So that is your diagram with the parts labeled. The last thing that will be in your report is your glossary. Mrs. B taught you about glossaries. They're like a little dictionary, aren't they? And we want you to have at least 5 words in your glossary. You can have more than that, but you must have at least 5. Now, I would like to show you the words I have in my glossary because you can use some of the words I have. As a matter of fact, all of you could have in your glossary description, diet, and habitat. And if you have been saving, or if you can find your assignments where you wrote out the definitions, then you can just copy them into your glossary very neatly. All right? But do you recall what is special about the order of the words in a glossary? They have to be in ABC order. They have to be alphabetical, don't they? So some of you, I know, some of you would like to get started right away, but if you just go ahead and write these words in there like this, would they be alphabetical? No, they wouldn't. You don't know for sure what words you're going to have because let me show you the words I have. I have description, diet, and habitat, and then I have nectar. Do you see nectar? That is a word that was in my diet paragraph. Let me read the sentence. These butterflies also eat rotting fruit, gross, and sometimes flower nectar. So I had to tell my reader what nectar means in case they weren't sure. Let me see what else I have. Projections. Listen to the sentence that has projections in it. It says, their wingspan is 2 1/4 inches to 4 inches with short projections on both wings. Well, my reader might not know what projection means. So I write that in my glossary. I look it up in the dictionary, or you can look it up online. That's what I did. And it says something that extends outward from something else. You can sort of tell. I tried to draw the projections, the little pointy things that stick out on the wings. Okay? And then I have rotting. Remember it said they eat rotting fruit? So I thought that might be a word someone would be curious about. And then sap. Oh, I want to read the sentence that comes from because it's kind of funny. All right, it's in the diet paragraph. I gotta find it. Here it is. All right, listen to this. When they want some sap, they walk down the trunk to find the sap and eat with their head going downward. So they crawl right down the tree. Oh, there's some sap. They just stop right there. They're kind of like standing on their heads, and they eat the sap right off the tree. So I thought sap might be a word that someone might not know. And so I wrote the definition. Do you want to hear it? It is fluid, mostly water, with sugar and salt in the vascular system of a plant or tree. So there's my glossary. At least how many words? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to have at least 5. You can have 100 if you want. If you want to do that much work. It's a lot of work, though, because it needs to be neat. All right. It took me quite a while to do my report, but I did it kind of all at once. We are going to help you next week. Starting on Monday, each day, we will do 1 paragraph. We won't do it all at once like I did. Okay? So, you get your paper, pencil, markers, crayons, colored pencils together. You make sure you have a folder or a big envelope or a notebook, and be thinking about what insect you would like to study. And then on Monday, Mrs. B and I are going to do lessons that will help you get started. Okay? All right, get excited. You're going to learn a lot about your insect, and I'm excited to see your work. Have a great day. Oh, and you don't have an assignment today. Woo-hoo. Just listen to the video. And you already did. If you got this far, you did what you need to do. Have a good day.